welcome to the Biokinetic Canine live on a Friday at 5 o'clock in South Africa. Today we are going to be looking at the top 3 canine fitness mistakes that people are doing and it holds them back. And how can you overcome them? It's really important because if you are doing any of these things, you're not getting the results you really are supposed to be getting. You're not putting your dog out there and making his body do the best that it can. And it will hold you back in not only your dog's performance, but in your own sporting career as well. So before we get into all of that, let me introduce myself quickly. My name is Angela Hearn. I'm a certified canine athlete specialist, and I am the owner and founder of the Biokinetic Canine. This is what we do, and this is where we help people with their dogs if they are engaged in any sport, whether it be at high level or club level or for fun. For fun, we've got a episode on that too. So whether you're doing agility, if you're doing any impact or protection sports, flyball, IGP, PSA, all of those things, your dog really needs to have an awesome fitness and conditioning program. Why? Dogs have been doing this for these sports for years, Angela. Really, is this just the new thing? Well, yes and no. Dogs have been doing this for years, sure. But if you've seen any of these competitions over the last few years in particular, the level has really gone through the roof. And we are asking a lot more of our dogs and of their bodies. Really, your agility trials, your field layouts are much more demanding on the body. The turns are sharper, the speeds are faster. And so with all of these extra elements that we are asking of the dog to do, the only thing that has got any place to give is the dog's body. So, and we all want to compete at the best level that we can, but our dogs are bearing the brunt of it. But how can we protect them? That's why this has come into play. We see it in humans first, with sporting individuals out there, and they are training. The sport level amongst humans has always increased year on year. If you look at Olympic scores of athletes years back and you compare them to now, chalk and cheese, completely different. The standard is higher and higher. This is how people behave. This is how humans behave, and our bodies have to adapt. But the real good news is about that is our bodies can adapt if you look after them properly. So with the extra stresses placed on the bodies for our dogs and for what we are asking of them to do on the field, we also have to prepare them. We're preparing them for the sport, sure, but we have to prepare them for the body. Where if we are working on our sport skills, etc., it's a lot of repetitive actions, just like sports people, top-end sports people. And that constant repetitive thing of the same action all the time, that causes problems too. So your dog is not automatically super fit when it does a sport, not at all. It is fit in a certain way, but you're also causing problems. And that's where our fitness and conditioning helps counter those adverse impacts that the sports have on a dog's body. It's nobody's fault. It just so happens. So handlers, you're not being terrible if you put a dog into a sport, not at all. But you can do more. You can do more for your dog to get them through that sport safer and with a sound body and a really nice retirement. So let's get cracking. Let's see what fitness mistakes is holding most of you guys back. But if you are seeing me anywhere else on any other platform besides our page, the Biokinetic Canine, and you want to place a comment, please pop over to our page and comment there. Then I can get all your comments properly and I can answer you. Otherwise, I may miss them. So if you like what you're seeing, give us a thumbs up, share with a friend if you think that will benefit them or their dog. And there you go. Let's get going. What is the big 3 mistakes that are holding people back when it comes to canine fitness? There are a few, but these are the main ones. And if we look at problem number 1 or mistake number 1 is people try and do it alone. I mean, your top sports people, you've always got a sporting partner. It's you, your dog, and somebody. And that somebody, yes, they mark for you and they look at your body with the dog's body and they show you when to reward, when not to reward, and what is right and what is wrong for your sport. Sure. But when it comes to fitness training, you can see those things too. But they help to hold you accountable. It's like having a gym buddy. So if I have to go to gym every day on my own, it's like, oh, if I don't feel like going today, oh, I don't have to tell anybody and I just don't go. But if I've already made a pre-arrangement to meet somebody there at 8 o'clock in the morning, you better go. You have to go. It holds you accountable. So when you're starting a fitness program, it's also you are starting a new habit. And you are changing some routine in your day or your week. And most new habits are difficult to do solo. So if you've got that accountability buddy, that person that keeps you going and you can go back to and you can ask questions and you can talk about things, that's one of the biggest steps to changing those habits and getting on the road of a routine of performing a fitness program with your dog. So when it comes to accountability, you can see that having that coach that you are accountable to, that person that you are accountable to, that you have to report back to, we've seen that it can help people achieve their goals by over 400%. There's an increase of over 400% of people achieving their goals if they just have that accountability coach. So that reporting progress each week, it helps you stay motivated. And it helps you, that coach helps you point out small areas where you can improve with your dog. Same as in your training for your sport, so it can be for your conditioning program. You need that person to be accountable with. And it's best to have somebody that actually knows what they're talking about when it comes to fitness and conditioning for your dog. So yeah, you can go it alone. It's just more difficult. And the rate of you falling off and not completing the program or not being able to see the results that you should see with your dog because you're not going at the proper rate or you're not doing the correct exercises or you're not doing them properly, that accountability coach, that's the person that gets you to that next level. And that's where we see that dropout failure of, oh, this is rubbish, I don't need it, to, oh my word, you should see my dog perform these exercises and you should see him now in the field. I can see it. I can see a dog that has done proper conditioning when they compete. You can spot the difference in dogs is chalk and cheese. There's no comparison, and it is gorgeous to see. So get that accountability coach. Find a coach that you can work with that will help you stay on track and show you what you can do with your dog, how to progress with your dog, how to take your dog further in the sport that it's doing, just by doing proper exercises on the side. The next big thing is, this happened to me, information overload. When I wanted to first go into fitness and conditioning for dogs, and so you will do a search, etc. And first of all, you don't really find what you're looking for because you don't know what the keywords are. These people out there, they've got their jargon, they've got their logos and their lingos. And so you don't know what you don't know, so you don't know how to find it. But then you will stumble on something somewhere, and then, you start to learn and you go into it. And then the information that is out there, it's like, whoa, too much. You don't know where or what or how. And so you read everything on fitness, and you receive all this different information, and some of the information is contradictory. You don't even know, is this right? Is it right for my dog? Some person says yes, and some person says no, and then you see some dog balancing on 4 inflatable donuts, and you go, oh my word, how must I do that? The information out there, unless you know what you're doing, it's just overwhelming. And then you just get paralyzed where you are. That information overload and that contradictory advice, you don't know who to go to because then you'll be hearing from a rehab vet and they're saying something in particular because of a certain circumstance in a dog. And then you'll speak to a different canine fitness person and they'll say something else because they're using an exercise for something completely different. How do you know what is good for your dog? You don't, unless you know. So that information overload, you are left feeling confused and you really don't know what to do. And so you rather do either nothing, or you'll do something with your dog, you're not seeing the result, or your dog's struggling, it can't do the particular exercise, or you're not starting at the foundation, you're starting in the middle or at the top and your dog's not ready for it yet, and you injure your dog and you think, well, this is a load of rubbish. I don't need this nonsense in my life. It's just more stress. That's the last thing fitness and conditioning must be. It should be taking away the stress of your dog sport. That's the aim. So you have to learn about cutting out all of that noise. My best advice is when you are out there, go and find a program and stick to an easy to follow plan. That's the most important. You want an easy to follow plan that is targeting your dog's sport, your dog's body, and your dog's progress. That's what you want. Easy to follow and it's targeted. So once you've got that easy to follow plan, hit it hard. Hit it really hard. You will see results. Just because it's easy doesn't mean it's easy for the dog. But if you just take a basic plan, take it and do it well, and you will have absolutely amazing results. Which leads us on to, are you battling on a program to follow? Because some of these programs are like, wow, it is like something out of some other kind of a recipe book of some high-tech thing. Like I said, get an easy to follow program. Easy to follow, something that you can understand and that you can actually do. Because if you don't know about how to put a program together or what program you can put together yourself for your dog, for your sport, you need to know what exercises are working, what parts of the body, and why they are working this part of the body, what stresses your sport puts on your dog's body, and then what stresses your dog's body goes through, because there are certain weak areas and super strong areas, and you need to get that balance. You need to get those weak areas strong. So you need to know where and how to start. So where must you go, or where must you find a program? How do you find a program? How do you start? Where do you start? Then you need to learn about how do you increase an exercise or adapt an exercise in particular for your dog or for your sport in order to address a weaker area in your dog or in a structure to address the various stresses of your sport. So people will tend to stop a program or give up a program before they're seeing any real results because the program is not for them. It's not working for the dog because they don't know why they're doing a particular exercise. Or worse, they will do some generic program. Now, you know my feelings on generic programs. Please, if you can find one, show me a generic dog that has got all the same points in his body, which is just so, and they're all exactly like this, and there are no weak areas. All the areas are equally okay. I'm still to find one of those. So your generic program, no, you want something targeted for your sport and for your dog's breed, for your dog's body, for your dog's angulation, structure, strengths, and weaknesses. You want something targeted. Then you're going to get results. So worse is that generic program, or even your friend has been to a rehab and you want to share that program because, well, why not? Exercise is exercise. Wrong. Absolutely wrong. That program drawn up by that rehab veterinary professional is drawn up with specific things in mind for the dog that came through with the problem. If the dog has got an iliopsoas strain, it's because there's a strain and an imbalance on the one side and they're doing something to correct that. It is targeted for a weak area to repair it, and then only will that program change to then take the whole dog into consideration with that area. It'll have a completely different focus point from what your dog may need. So you will have exercises that are very similar all along the line, but for different sports and different dogs and different structures of dogs, there are different target areas when it comes to putting your program together. So please try and stay away from the generic programs or borrowing a friend's rehab program. That rehab program is that veterinarian has taken that knowledge about injury and how to repair it through exercise and applied it specifically for that dog. Not for your dog that doesn't even do agility. Your dog does flyball. So please watch out for those. That's very, very, very important. So what can you do? How do you overcome these problems, these mistakes? The best ways to overcome these mistakes is either get yourself a one-on-one program with a certified canine fitness professional. Not more important, equally as important as that person must know what they are doing. They must understand exercise and how it affects the dog's body. But if your dog is doing a sport, they must also understand that sport. Fitness and conditioning for a pet owner is very different to fitness and conditioning for a sporting dog. The two dogs are completely different, and also the two handlers, the two owners of those dogs are also completely different here. There's different mindsets. So find yourself, if you're going to go on a one-on-one program and you are looking for a coach to help you with your dog, if you are in a sport, find a coach that knows your sport. That's really crucial for the development of your dog. They understand the sport, they understand the rigors of the sport and where those rigors really impact the dog's body, and then they know how to assess your dog's body when it comes to the sport involved and where the weaker areas and the stronger areas are for that dog, and they can tell you exactly what to do and how to help your dog through it safely. So your exercises may be similar, as I said before, but it is very important that they know where to target the exercises for your dog in the sport that you're doing. So you're training for a pet dog owner who wants to get their dog healthy. Find a fitness coach that understands your dog, especially like you get your brachycephalic dogs, they've got the shorter nose. They can't go on long runs. They can't, it's impossible. They would need to do a lower impact training, and that person would also have to teach the owner the signs of fatigue for those dogs, because they find it difficult to breathe when they are under stress, and you'd have to gradually increase their fitness levels so that their body can cope through the extra stress that you're putting them through. So it's really targeted. The person that you're dealing with, they really need to know what they're talking about, how they're talking about it, and with what dog they're dealing with, and with what goal that handler has in mind, whether it be simply losing weight, getting a pet dog fitter, working with a senior dog. Oh my word, I saw this most awesome post. It was from a friend of mine, veterinarian, that she said she took in a senior dog because, of course, your senior dogs, they lose their lean muscle mass. And she took in a senior dog and they were doing a fitness exercise. The dog had retired. It was a working dog. And the dog comes in, and just because you are engaging again with the dog, and I've seen it in my own senior dog, because you're engaging again with that dog who's used to being, its life was always sport and it produces results. You're doing now a fitness and conditioning program with the dog, that engagement again. The dog walks away from the program and from the exercise of the day on top of the world. There's like there's air in their steps because they feel so important. They did what they had to do, and they, wow, look at me, look how I've done. It is awesome to see. I've got goosebumps, really, really. So when you got your senior dogs, just to give them that sense of importance and achievement for the day. Again, that thing that they're not doing anymore. Oh man, it is just, it's so nice to see. Really, it is. So if you're going to find yourself and you prefer doing a one-on-one program, look for those things in the coach that you're going to be dealing with. We do our one-on-one programs. If you want to speak to me about it, you're most welcome. Otherwise, if you're doing a one-on-one program with myself, I do all that confusing work for you about looking at your dog, drawing up an assessment about your dog, putting a program together, getting you accountable, giving you things to work out every single week. You have to give me videos. I give you one-on-one feedback on your dog and how you progress. So you get that elite accountability every single time, every single week. It's not for people that are going to be wishy-washy about the exercise. You really need to do the work. We are not here about a quick fix for your dog. No, we give that dog's muscles and body time to generate the cells and new cell structures it's going to need for whatever sport it's doing. So we pace the dog's body. You cannot rush fitness. You cannot rush the development of extra muscle and strength in a dog. You can be consistent and push that dog to its limits without injuring. But we're not here to show you some quick fix in fitness. Oh, I just want to get my dog's hind end more strong. We make sure that the dog's entire body gets strong in balance so that everything is looked after in the dog. That's crucial in any program. You want your dog's body to match the sport it's doing. So when it comes to one-on-one programs with myself, it's not going to be, you need to be there and you need to put in the work too. I don't make it that it's like, oh, it's going to take over your life. I take a look at your life, your lifestyle, how much time you have, and we work it in like that and why you are doing something. That is the most important thing. If you are looking to learn more, engage. That's the most important. If you want to know things about why you're doing something, ask questions. I tell you all these things so that you walk away with knowledge and you can then adapt it to any dog that comes your way and you know how to do the exercises, what to look for and why you're looking for it. If you want to rather do a program on your own and you want to put something together and you want to be guided on your way, but you work better on your own and get feedback from a group, please take a look at our membership. That's what we're all about. I give you all the knowledge. We help you through various exercises. We're adding exercises all the time on how, what, and why does it work, how to do the exercises, what makes it strict, and where your dog is possibly showing some fatigue and what to be careful of. That all happens in our memberships. So if you're looking to be part of a most awesome group, I must tell you, a most awesome group of people, then take a look at our memberships. And if you want to know more about it, please contact me and I can tell you a little bit about the membership. If you are unsure about where you are in canine fitness and you think you know and you're not too sure and you're humming and hawing about fitness and conditioning, take a quiz. See where your holes are. See what areas you should concentrate on to get your dog to that next level of powered performance. What's the road? What's the path you need to follow? What's the gaps in your knowledge that you need to have in order to take your dog to that next level, to that level where your dog, the movements of your dog goes, wow, that's what you want. So I will put into the comments box after here all the links to these things, and you're most welcome to click on them and contact me if you have any questions on any of the things that we offer to help you and your dog. Otherwise, I would say, in closing, the biggest obstacles are doing it alone. You don't have to. Get yourself that accountability coach that will push you and help you reach your dreams. That's the most wonderful thing in the world, is to have that person that has your back. Don't do it alone. You don't have to. You don't have to. Cut through the information overload. There's a lot out there. Cut through it. Get yourself a real, easy to follow program. Hit it and hit it hard. That's all you need to do. And then from there, you can learn how to progress and get even more out of your dog without having to go through all the schlep of having to learn new things, etc. We help you through those things. And then Why battle to find a program that you can follow? We can do those things here for you, or we show you how to draw one up yourself if you want to take that road. So if you need to know anything further, I am here. Oh, Riani, hello, how are you? Oh, thank you, man. Yes, you guys are an amazing group. You must see these people, guys out there in the world, these groups and their dogs, and how their dogs have improved. I'm even blown away. It makes me go, it makes me get this huge big smile as I see their dogs, and I get goosebumps. I love to interact with these things. So if you're looking for some more information, please pop me an email at fit@thebiokineticcanine.com. I'm going to pop down the link for the quiz if you want to see where you stand with your quiz. If you want some more information about it, please put in your email at the end. You don't have to, but if you put your email in the end, then you are onto our mailing list, and we send you some awesome resources about fitness and conditioning. So you don't want to miss out on that. It's some really good information. And then also, if you want to learn more about our program and one-on-one program, contact me directly and I'll help you with the best way to go forward. Your first meeting with me, it's a Zoom call. It's completely free. You have no obligation, but you do get a lot of guidance out of it. All right. So I'm going to say have a very awesome and fantastic weekend, guys. Enjoy your dogs. If it's cold there by you, or if it's very hot like it is over here by us, enjoy your dogs. Make sure they're safe and sound. Have a good training weekend. And I'm going to say good afternoon, cheers, and goodbye. So let me get all my information up as per usual. And then I'm going to say cheers. Bye-bye, everybody.